Hello again. This video is not another Zion National Park rocks and canyons video. I don't want to make that, and I didn't. This video is just to show you my experience, and maybe for those taking the trip to Utah for the first time, you can learn something here to avoid making the same mistakes. So let's hit it. I made my trip to Zion in September last year, 2020, after being stuck in Palm Springs for 6 months from March to September, COVID restrictions and all going on. I drove to Las Vegas, stayed about 3 weeks in Las Vegas, and on September 21st, start going to Utah. That was the idea. Visit Zion, Moab, national parks that are beautiful in Utah. The idea for this video came later to me. March 13th, this year, 21. I got a text from somebody who was watching my videos on YouTube and said, "We watch your videos, blah, 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 and right now we are going," so it's a couple, husband and wife from San Francisco, "we are going to Utah. We have a reservation in a Zion campground for a week or so." I replied, "Are you insane? It's freezing right now over there." Well, they said they just bought RV and they were eager to hit the road, and wife wanted to see Zion. So we are going right now. Lesson number 1. You cannot go to Utah. It's still cold and snow, probably before May 1st. Nothing before May 1st. Maybe end of April, but let's say May 1st. Also, you will learn in this my video that in certain area, and most actually of Utah, gets cold after October 1st. So you shouldn't be there after October 1st. And especially if you go to Moab or some other that are on higher elevation, you'll be freezing. It may be even below 30 degrees during the night. Days are fine. Even 50-degree weather with the sunshine is fine. But nights are freezing. And that's lesson number 1. Utah season, May 1st through October 1st. That's my advice. So I left Las Vegas and I was driving on Highway 15 on the way to that leads to Salt Lake City. Google Maps will tell you that it's about 3-hour drive, 160 miles. Well, I have no intention of driving 3 miles, and there is no reason to drive straight from wherever, from Las Vegas or from San Francisco, to drive straight to Zion. There's so many things on the road where you can stop. There is a free parking that you can find, a lot of BLM spots, and enjoy your trip. So I usually drive about 100 miles. So I decided to drive just halfway, which is about 80-90 miles. And what that would be, that's actually on the Arizona border, Mesquite. It is still Nevada, but it's on Arizona border. It is 1-hour drive, 78-9 miles. I arrived to Mesquite, it was dark, so I needed spot where to go to sleep. I used the freecampsites.net to find some locations, and the best suggestion was Casablanca Casino. When I arrived, I asked security, "Are there any restrictions? Do I have to register?" They looked puzzled to me. "No, just go and park over there." Next day, I made a little instructional video about finding the spot at in the Mesquite. It's September. I'm in Mesquite, Nevada, Casablanca Hotel. They have
this parking lot C, where they allow RVs to stay, trucks, and oversized parking. This is the road that comes from Las Vegas going to Utah. You can turn there, like you can see that truck, and immediately, that just before the sign, you turn into this lot. If you miss that, then you go all around the hotel, all around. You're gonna see on that side down there they have little RV park, but you pass that, keep going around, and then you enter here this lot. If you look in a distance in these mountains, there's smoke, there's fire over there. Those are not clouds, there's a fire.
You can see that around Mesquite there are a few spots. One is Flying J, but gas station parking lot, noisy trucks and stuff. You don't need that. The other is Casablanca Hotel, and somebody's mentioned here Walmart, but we know that recently Walmart is not allowing, so this may be old post. You have to check about that. And there is BLM sites on Virgin River, which is on Arizona side. So if you want to enjoy some, and this is really nice spot, you can enjoy really nice views and have some fun. Stay a day or two there. What's the rush? I stayed 2 nights at the Casablanca. There's no poker over there, so I was forced to play blackjack. Had a little success. I made a stop at Baskin Robbins in St. George, which is the first city across the Utah border. But I was debating, do I want to stay there overnight or not? And then I continued. A friend of mine was coming from Colorado, and we were supposed to meet there by the Zion. There's a nice there's several BLM locations just before the entrance of the national park. So he's coming, but in a week. I didn't want to stay there for a week, and then he comes, we stay another week. So I decided to go a little more and explore. So I looked at freecampsites.net, and I was pleasantly surprised when I saw how many spots are available. This would be the Zion here area, and there's a little town called Virgin because there's a Virgin River that goes all the way. I was supposed to meet with a friend there, but I said, no, I don't want to do that. So I continued driving to Cedar City and actually stopped one night before Cedar City in an RV park because I needed to dump my tanks and get the fresh water. I spent 3 weeks in Las Vegas and my tanks were full.
That's Highway 15. You can see trucks going that way to Utah. I'm here at Indian Peaks Tribal RV Park. I don't know how many spots they have. Mostly it's full, like 70-80% full. But really nice, new and quiet and in the nature.
So I continued to Cedar City.
Cedar City, Utah. This is Main Street. All businesses there. I stopped at the gas station. I don't know where to go next. The only thing that comes to mind is Walmart, but I had to find a spot where I'm gonna sleep tonight.
So I looked on freecampsites.net and found Walmart as one of the locations. Let me tell you, Utah is the most RV friendly state, and I confirming you can stay on this Walmart. Nobody will ask you a question, and I did. Looking on this what's offered, you see this location here, it is just like 1.5 miles out of the city, and it's a small spot. It can take only just a few RVs and not big ones. So I didn't want to mess with that. I wanted to stay there to be closer to the city, to have a better internet signal. But That was too small for my taste, and I continued, found this spot, which is 18 miles from Cedar City on Utah Highway 14. It's still hollow forest road.
So I just took off the Highway 14 and it's campsite that way, limited to 16 days. It's about mile and a half of this dirt road, shaking, but it's not long, mile and a half. And I already like it, it's flat everywhere. Like they say in real estate, location, location, location. I'm gonna love it.
And when I arrived, I was so impressed how it looks that I messaged to my friend Joe. I said, you had to come over here, this is beautiful spot. My messages didn't go through, there's no signal there. But the area is so beautiful. Number one, it's flat, which is really rare to find. It's a little bit off the highway. People come there for weekend with their off-road vehicles, bicycles, motorcycles, and explore the trails that are there. One problem, and this is something you should do every time. So this is for your Utah trip. My advice, number 2. You have to check absolutely every time the elevation. This spot is 9,700 feet elevation. I was freezing. It was 30 every night. I was freezing that I wanted to cry. I said, it is September. It's September. But it's almost 10,000 feet elevation. So whenever you go, don't be fooled by seeing 60, 70, 80 degrees daily temperature. If it's elevation, no matter what time of year it is, it's going to be fresh and cold. So be ready. And this is why I'm saying no Utah after October 1st, if you want some comfort. I managed 4 days to stay here, enjoying during the day the beauty of it. Used my bicycle, went around on a trail. Really, really nice area. Leaves are turning yellow.
Listen to the trees. Listen.
It is beautiful, but come Thursday, there was a soccer game that I wanted to watch. My team playing a qualifying game for a European Championship, and I don't have internet here. So I said, okay, I'm gonna go back to Walmart parking lot to watch the game. I left and stayed at the Walmart. There were several RVs, not that many. There is no security or police disturbance, so I slept really fine. I had good internet signal for the soccer game. There are all stores around, fast food, and I even visited some ice cream place that makes some special, I don't know, with some frozen gas, they make ice cream. That's kind of some attraction, even the flavor is nothing special. I spent there a couple of days, and then by the weekend, my friend is coming, so we agreed to, I'll go back to Virgin and pick a spot there. And that is about here, one of these spots. You can see Zion is here, entrance to Zion is from here, and all these spots are just like around the Zion National Park, outside of the park. So there's a lot of locations, and I'm gonna suggest you one that I visited. It is really pretty. It's on a little creek, and there's a lot of along the creek, a lot of spots. If you have there are a couple entrances. I think the first one is not good for big rigs. Second entrance, by this sign, 14-day parking, when you go a little bit down, like maybe 20 yards, turn left. Don't go right if you have a big rig. If you go right, it's more convenient for small campers and minivans. I stayed there and waited for my friend to arrive. When he came, we stayed there another week, had a really pleasant stay, good weather, because you check elevation and look at difference. Elevation, 3,500 feet elevation. The difference in temperature, huge. So after a couple days hanging just there, and then I put the big screen and used my projector. We watched football games and UFC fights. We decided to go to Zion. Going to Zion is simple. You just continue on Highway 9. It will lead you to the gate. At the gate, you have to pay the entrance. If you have a National Parks pass, and it's free. I have a senior pass, lifetime membership, $80. So if you're over 62, get that one. If not, annual pass is $20. Usually people go to Zion and they make videos of them going to hiking certain trails, going through the canyon, crossing through the creek and stuff. That's not for me. With my buddy Joe, we just drove all around. It's a big loop. Officially, when we were out of the national park officially and going back to our spot, we stopped for lunch.
So I just came out of Zion National Park, stopped here in Kanab for the famous Al's Big Buffalo Burger, which really doesn't look impressive, rather sad. Nothing into it. Bun. This Chef Ramsay would kill them for this. This is not real stuff. Not coming again.
And went back to our camp. Stayed there a couple days more, and then I continued my trip to Salt Lake City, and my friend went down to Arizona. My plan was to go to Moab, but then people said that it's already extremely cold, and it was only first week in October. Again, going back to that, dates are May 1st, October 1st, nothing out of that. So I canceled my plans to go to see the other national parks because of the timing and the weather. Went to Salt Lake City, crossed to Nevada, down to Lake Tahoe, avoided the snow, and back to California and to warmer weather. I hope this helps you better plan your trip. Utah National Parks are beautiful, and you can watch many videos on YouTube showing you the beauties and things you have to see. But let me remind you, planning is the essential. Don't go too early. And if you go, don't stay overnight on high elevations. Good luck on your planning. Have a nice trip to Utah, and hope see you down the road.